So, Daquan, tell me a little bit about your experience so far at Portsmouth. What was your reaction when you got invited, and what was your mindset going into this week?
It was a pretty exciting feeling getting invited to something like this. I mean, being able to play in front of all the NBA teams, and especially being around some of the seniors in different conferences. I mean, it's been pretty amazing. I mean, my mindset going into this is, going out and making a name for myself. I mean, not a lot of people knew who I was coming into this, so that's really my mindset going into this.
What was it like, being surrounded by all these, all-conference players? You got to think that any one of these teams would have been really competitive in any conference, pretty much, looking at the talent level that's assembled here.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. I mean, I didn't get to play against half of these guys during the regular season or in conference, but like I said, my mindset is to go out there and beat every team we play against and hopefully win a championship.
What do you think you can bring an NBA team?
I think I can definitely be one of those guys that can be a key defender on the team and obviously make plays for my teammates on the offensive end too, on the ball and off the ball.
Any players that you really enjoy watching play in the NBA, guys that you look at and think, maybe you can do something similar if you get a chance?
I'd say Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are the main two guys that I've watched over the years. Those two guys go out there and play their hardest every night.
What are some of the things you're going to have to improve on to carve out a career in the NBA?
I think the main two things I focus on during my workouts is coming up ball screens and making the right reads, and my ball handling. Those are the main two things that I focus on.
How much of the NBA game do you watch, and what are some of the things that you notice in terms of differences between college and the NBA?
I think a couple of differences that I've noticed watching the NBA is the spacing and the amount of ball screens that are set in the NBA. I mean, a lot of teams in the NBA, that's how they run their system, is coming off a ball screen and, basically finding an open player. That's really the only difference that I've noticed.
It feels like 10, 15 years ago, people were a lot more strict in terms of positions. There were twos, there were threes, there were fours. It's kind of changed a little bit now. How do you fit into that? What position are you? What do you see your role being potentially?
With me talking with my agent and other NBA teams, I feel like I'm either 2 or 3 guard. It's kind of tough when you're in the NBA. You have 6, 7, 6, 8 guys bringing the ball up the floor, playing the point guard position. So, I see myself as a 2 or 3 guard.
You also played a lot of 4 in college. What was that experience like? Being guarded by bigger, slower guys. What advantage did that present for you?
I know it created a lot of mismatches for me. That's part of the reason that I played the 4 in college was, I was going up against bigger guys and slower guys, so it was easier for me to score the ball a lot. I think it's a pretty good experience. I learned a lot. Didn't really like it at times, but I had to do it. So,
how much does it help having your length and big hands, strong frame? How does that benefit you in terms of switches? Everybody's switching now and pick and rolls. How do you feel if you have to switch onto a bigger guy and hold him in the post?
It helps me a lot. Especially with my build and my strength, I feel like I can guard most positions on the floor, especially if I switch off on somebody. I feel like I'm quick enough to guard a 1 through 3. I feel like I'm strong enough to guard a 4 and a 5. And overall, I just feel like I can hold my own against anybody.
It seems like out of the 8 teams here, you guys have some of the better ball movement. A lot of teams playing a lot of one-on-one, but the ball kind of moved pretty fluidly in the first game for you guys. What do you attribute that to, and how important is that to have that in a setting like this?
I think it's very important. Coming into a tournament like this, a lot of guys want to go out there and do their own thing. A lot of us are here to get ourselves a job, but most important thing is coming out here and playing together with your teammates, get to know them a little better so you can play better on the court.
What do you think you can show teams that they might not know about you already? They studied you for a few years in college. Is there anything that you can do to surprise them, something that they may not have been able to see as much in college?
I think the main thing is just showing teams that I can guard one-on-one. I mean, when I was at Tulsa, we played a lot of matchup zone and wasn't really guarding people one-on-one every possession. So I think that's one of the main things that I can show and prove to these teams.
Can you walk me through the pre-draft process so far? What has that experience been like? What has your interactions been with the NBA teams, and how are things going to look for you moving forward the next 2 months?
It's been pretty amazing. I've been traveling a lot lately this past 2 weeks. Right now, just doing interviews with teams, trying to get a lot of workouts scheduled. Next week, I think I'll be in Chicago working out. And after that, whatever comes to me, I have to deal with it.
What have the interviews been like for you?
Nothing really difficult. I mean, it's just been teams trying to get to know me a lot better. I mean, I met with a couple of those teams already, but a lot of them were just trying to get to know me more.
If a team tells you they see you as a 3-and-D guy, how do you feel about that? Is that too limiting of a term for you, or is that a role that you're comfortable playing?
I'm obviously comfortable with that role, but I know I have more to my game than that, and I obviously have to go out there and prove that every night that I'm playing and working out with them.
Great stuff, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.